Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I kind of want to do something a little bit different. I want to do a tip of the day, maybe try to upload daily, try to help people out so they don't have to bring stuff to me, which I don't mind working on, but it can save them a little bit of money. I know I use YouTube a little bit to work on things every once in a while, so if I've never worked on it, car or whatnot. Got to get some lights turned on in here, but yeah, I'm gonna try to start doing maybe a tip of the day. Try to help people out a little bit. I'm gonna use this as an example for this. This ATV was brought to me. A good friend of mine usually does all of the work himself. He's a good mechanic, so we're not gonna knock him on anything at all. But they recently, within the last year, rebuilt this carburetor on this thing. Of course, it's, they've used it and went through mud and all that good stuff. But this thing sits a lot more than it gets ridden. He brought it to me thinking that the battery was going to just be needed to be replaced in it and maybe do a quick service on it. Thought the battery was going dead and it had a brand new battery in it, so I stuck it on the charger. Kind of just from being in the industry for as long as I was, I said, well, let me see if this thing's actually got a dead battery on it. So I went to crank it over, and this thing makes a it tries to start, but it won't turn the engine over. Well, I popped the air box on it and can smell gas immediately, and I look in the bottom of the air box and there's gas in there, so I drain the tube on the bottom of it, and I know then that this carburetor, probably the float has stuck and it's leaked gas back into the air box. So I start looking at it and I'm like, well, that thing's kind of got a slight angle, so for it to do that, it's going to have to back up into the head first and then went back into the air box for it to have it in the air box. So long story short, I pulled the plug on it. As soon as I pulled the plug, probably a quart and a half of gasoline poured out of the cylinder. I then took the spark plug off of it and pulled one of the wires off the ignition coil and hit the button. Turns over freely. Of course, there's no plug in it. I stuck the plug back up in there just to see if it would actually turn over still, and it turns over fine. But my tip for today is people should get used to, especially with things that they're not riding all the time. And what I mean by riding all the time, I mean daily, because this gas now has got ethanol in it, and it's not like your grandfather's old 1934 Studebaker fuel he used to put in there. This stuff is corrosive. The carburetors on a lot of these ATVs, motorcycles, dirt bikes, whatever, weed eaters, small equipment, they weren't designed a lot of the time, unless it's something brand new, it wasn't designed to work with these. So it dries rubber pieces up inside of the carburetor. Alcohol dries out rubber. Just like when you get it on your skin, it dries your skin out. So my tip is, on the bottom of your carburetor, if you're not going to ride something, there's a little, you got the actual fuel ball on the bottom, and like this one's kind of terrible to show it to you because I haven't got it off there yet, but if I can see it up in there. But there's a screw on the bottom of your carburetor. Everyone's got one. It's a drain. Turn your fuel off. If you have a Petcock that you can turn off for the fuel, turn it off. Crack that drain. It's only going to take you a minute or two to get it started, to let that gas get in there and prime the system again, but saves you in the long run. Now this thing's got to come back apart. The seat has to be polished in it if it's hasn't actually torn the seat up in there. A lot of times some of these carburetors, the ethanol will eat the aluminum in them. So if it was me, to save you guys money, I would just start getting used to draining your carburetor when you get done riding it. If you have a metal gas tank add a teaspoon of two-stroke mix to it. That'll save your metal gas tank also. But thanks, that's going to be the tip for today. Please make sure you hit the like and subscribe if you like this. If you think we should do more things like this, drop me a comment in the bottom. Let me know what you want to see. Thanks, and we'll see you guys later.